So one thing I wanted to ask you about was writing comedy. Because your stuff is hilarious. I mean, just the premise of the Mary Rath series, if you haven't read them, it's a retired female CIA agent who's running a girls' scouting troop. And, you know, CIA agent, girls' scouting troop, you can imagine hilarity ensues and murders. Um, but
Lots of
what are
murders, lots and lots.
what are your thoughts on writing comedy? Because you do so much of it. 32 books, you said? Eesh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. My thoughts on writing comedy. It kind of comes naturally. I mean, I'm glad to hear other people say I'm funny because you always hear it from your mother, and it's nice to hear Kirsten say that I'm funny. That's very important to me because I love her books very much. So, comedy is a little tricky. I think when I was in college, I was in an improv comedy troupe. And so I think that's how I think about things. When I'm sitting here going, okay, I need something really strange in this scene, and I just kind of run through ideas in my mind until something pops up. I might be a little deranged. It's possible I'm a little deranged because, some of the things that I come up with kind of scare me myself, but I think improv really helped me come up with ideas on the fly. And I love comedy. I've always loved comedy. Monty Python when I was a kid, the early Saturday Night Live. I was lucky, and SCTV, I was lucky to be growing up during those things because they really impacted me. And I just always look at a scene and go, how weird can I make this? I have two Chechen musclehead goons, Ron and Ivan, that Mary had been undercover with, who moved here and married her sisters-in-law, and they're about as smart as Swiss cheese. And the sisters-in-law are taxidermists they're twin taxidermists who make animals doing people-y things. And so, I mean, and then the Girl Scouts in the troop are really quirky, really, so I tend to put in people, populate my town with unusual people who you can find anywhere. I mean, really, you've all grown up with unusual people. And my other thing with comedy is don't force it. So I find if I'm in a mood where I'm just, oh my God, I can't concentrate today, I'll write straight like Kirsten does. And then I'll go back and add the funny later, but you never force it. Never, ever push it. Never force it. I think, Elaine, didn't you say you were a comedian? And so it has to be kind of fluid. You can always come back and add it later. If you're not feeling it, come back and add it later. Like Kirsten does and like I do. And, but I think with me, it's the fish out of water thing that works really well for me to have my main character. She's quirky and weird on her own. You'd have to be in the CIA. But the people around her are just bizarre enough to make it work. And that lends itself really well to comedic dialogue. Because when you're talking with somebody like that, it's the dialogue that can really shine in comedy. So I don't know if that helped.
Yeah, for my books, I originally usually my heroine is the straight man and she's bouncing off all these nutty characters. And finally
Mhm.
I decided, no, I want to make a heroine who's funny as well. So my Tea and Tarot series, I gave Abigail a bit more funny. But yeah, it's weird characters that people are bouncing off of can get you a lot of funny for sure. For sure.
I've had people say, oh my gosh, that's my mother-in-law. This character is just like my mother-in-law, or I know these people, I work with these people. And I'm like shocked because I really go out of my way to make them weird. So I'm surprised that those people really exist in real life.
Who else? Oh, Elaine, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. This is so cool. And I would love to just, if I can add something to the humor thing, if that's okay, even though I know it's a different genre, but I think it's just fun for everybody because I think we all need humor in our lives, right? And so, why do humans laugh? We laugh because we're surprised, right? We laugh because we're shocked, we're uncomfortable, it's awkward, right? We laugh because it's true. Like sometimes somebody says something and you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking that, but I would never say it, right? Like comedians or wacky characters they have no filter. And then we laugh because we can relate, right? Like Wanda Sykes has a whole bit about she's on the phone with her friend and she's like, I cannot find my phone. I've looked everywhere for my phone. Have you seen my phone? I can't find my phone. And she's this whole bit. She even like changes ears and she's digging through her purse. And we laugh because we've all done that, right? With our glasses or
Right.